All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving into the world of crypto today, and I know a lot of you are really interested in this stuff.
Yeah, definitely a hot topic these days.
It really is, especially Bitcoin. I mean, it's had such a crazy ride.
Absolutely, from like $1,000 to almost 70,000 at one point.
It's insane. And we'll definitely get into the whole Bitcoin thing and just how volatile it can be. But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
you know what else is super interesting?
What's that?
These new coins popping up, like PFB and PFI.
Definitely seen a lot of buzz around those.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the early days of Bitcoin, right?
Oh, yeah, it totally reminds me of that too.
Like back when not everyone was paying attention
Right.
before it exploded.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're going to unpack today.
Yeah,
We're going to look at Bitcoin, its history, its volatility,
definitely need to talk about that.
and then we'll dig into PFB and PFI, see what they're all about, what their potential is, the risks involved.
Because there are always risks. Absolutely. It's like venturing into a jungle. It's beautiful, full of potential.
But you got to watch out for those snakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it. So let's start with Bitcoin. You mentioned it went from like $1,000 to almost 70,000. I mean,
It's crazy, right? People who got in early.
made a fortune.
Mm.
But I'm guessing it wasn't a smooth ride the whole way up.
Oh, no, not at all. Bitcoin's known for its volatility, ups and downs, It's like a roller coaster.
Why is it so volatile, though? Like, what are the things that cause these huge swings in price?
Well, there are a few things. It's still a relatively new asset, right? So it's very sensitive to like what people are feeling, the news, things like that.
So sentiment, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If there's some big news or something negative happens, people freak out.
Sell off their Bitcoin, the price drops.
Exactly. And then there's regulation or the lack of it in some places.
Yeah. Governments and all that.
Right. They're constantly trying to figure out how to handle cryptocurrency, how to regulate it, and all that uncertainty. Well, it makes people nervous.
So they might pull back from investing until things are more clear.
Exactly. And then on top of all that, you've got the technology itself constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah. New blockchains popping up all the time.
Yep. Some of them claim to be faster, more secure, more efficient than Bitcoin. So that can also make people question whether Bitcoin is still, the top dog.
So it's not just about the potential for gains. It's about understanding all these forces at play, right?
Yeah.
And this is where I think things get really interesting with these newer coins, PFB and PFI. Like we said, they kind of have that early Bitcoin vibe.
Oh, for sure. They're like the new kids on the block trying to make a name for themselves.
But the question is, can they achieve that same level of success as Bitcoin?
Right. Will they be able to build that same kind of community, that same level of excitement?
Because that seems to be a huge factor, right? Like
Right.
with Bitcoin, there was this real sense of community, of shared belief in its potential.
Yeah, definitely. And that enthusiasm, it drove adoption, it drove up the price. So the question with PFB and PFI is, can their communities do the same thing?
Okay, so let's say I'm looking at these two coins, PFB and PFI. I see the potential, but how do I separate the hype from the substance? What do I need to look into to really understand these coins?
That's the key question. It's like being a detective, You got to find the clues.
Okay, I like that. So what's the first clue?
The first clue is the white paper.
The white paper.
Yeah, every good cryptocurrency project has one. It's basically a document that outlines everything about the coin.
Like what it is, what it does, who's behind it.
Exactly. It's like the coin's DNA. It tells you what makes it tick.
Okay, so the white paper is like the blueprint.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then you've got the roadmap.
The roadmap, what's that all about?
The roadmap basically lays out the project's future plans, what they're aiming to achieve, how they plan to develop and grow the coin.
So the white paper tells me what it is, and the roadmap shows me where they're going.
You got it. And then you got to look at the community.
The community. Yeah, I've heard that's really important.
It's super important. A strong community is vital for any cryptocurrency to succeed. They drive awareness, adoption, even contribute to development sometimes.
So how do I assess the community? Like, what should I be looking for?
Jump into their online forums, check out their social media, see if they're hosting any events, look for signs of passion, engagement, and genuine belief in the project.
So basically see if people are excited about it.
Exactly. Because that excitement is contagious. It can attract new investors, which drives up demand, which drives up the price.
Okay, so white paper, roadmap, community, that's a lot to keep track of. Any tips on how to approach all this research?
It can be a bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry, you don't have to become an expert overnight.
Phew, that's good to hear.
Just start with the basics. Read those white papers, even if you don't understand all the technical jargon.
I'm definitely not a tech whiz.
And that's okay. Just try to get a general sense of what the project is about. Then explore those community forums, get a feel for the vibe. Are people asking questions? Are they having productive discussions? Are they generally positive about the project's future?
Gotcha. So it's not just about understanding the tech, it's about feeling the energy.
Exactly. You want to see that people are genuinely invested, not just in the money, but in the project itself.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's talk about red flags. What are some things that should make me go, maybe this isn't such a good idea?
Good question. Lack of transparency is a big one. If the team behind the project is anonymous, or if the white paper is super vague about the technology, that's a warning sign.
So basically, if they're hiding something.
Right. And then be wary of projects that promise guaranteed returns.
Yeah, like invest in our coin and you'll be a millionaire in a month.
Exactly. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Remember, cryptocurrency is inherently risky. No investment is a sure thing.
Right, got to be realistic. So we've covered a lot of ground here. What's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all this?
The most important thing is to do your research. The more you know about a cryptocurrency, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
Knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. And be critical. Don't just blindly follow the hype. Dig deeper, ask questions, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as we wrap up our deep dive, I guess the big question is, could PFB or PFI be the next Bitcoin? Could they be the next big success stories in the crypto world?
It's definitely possible, but only time will tell.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But the good news is our listeners are now armed with the knowledge to navigate this exciting world and make their own informed decisions.
That's right. Just remember, be cautious, do your research, and happy exploring.
And on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of cryptocurrency. We'll see you next time.
See you then.